The old janitor pushed a heavy cart down the polished hallway while dozens of young employees walked past him as if he were invisible. Some frowned at the squeaking wheels. Others dropped empty coffee cups onto the cart without even looking at his face. No one noticed the sadness in his eyes. No one knew that the quiet man wearing faded blue coveralls owned the entire building, and no one could have imagined that by the end of that week, one trainee's simple act of kindness would change both of their lives forever. Before we begin, take a moment to like this video, comment below where you're watching from, share this story with someone who still believes in kindness, and subscribe to Kindness Hub if you believe every person deserves dignity and a second chance. The headquarters of Halcyon Dynamics stood in the center of the city like a monument to success. 40 floors of glass and steel reflected the bright morning sunlight, symbolizing everything people admired about modern achievement. At the top of that empire was Caelan Mercer. At 46 years old, Caelan had built one of the country's fastest-growing technology companies from a tiny rented office into a billion-dollar corporation. Business magazines praised his vision. Investors admired his discipline. Competitors feared his strategies, yet very few people actually knew him. After his wife passed away 3 years earlier, Caelan became quieter with each passing season. He stopped attending company celebrations. He avoided interviews and public events. Most employees had only seen him during annual meetings or in carefully staged photographs hanging in the lobby. Even inside his own company, he felt like a stranger. One evening, while reviewing employee surveys, Caelan noticed a disturbing pattern. Despite record profits, satisfaction scores had fallen dramatically. Complaints about toxic managers, burnout, and workplace disrespect appeared repeatedly. Everyone praised the company's values on paper. But something felt deeply wrong. During a leadership meeting, executives assured him that the concerns were exaggerated. Human Resources presented colorful charts suggesting everything was under control. Still, Caelan couldn't ignore the uneasy feeling growing inside him. His father had spent 30 years working as a maintenance worker in a factory. Caelan still remembered how invisible people treated him. He remembered watching executives walk past his father without offering a greeting. His father often said that a company's true character revealed itself in how people treated those who could do nothing for them. That sentence stayed with Caelan long after his father's death. 3 days later, he made a decision that shocked his personal assistant. For 1 week, he would disappear. No announcements. No meetings. No security team. Using his middle name, he would enter the building as a temporary janitor assigned by an outside contractor. Only 2 people knew the truth. Early Monday morning, wearing work boots and a gray maintenance uniform, Caelan pushed a cleaning cart through the employee entrance. Nobody recognized him. At first, he found the experience almost amusing. By lunchtime, it stopped being amusing. People interrupted him mid-sentence. Some snapped their fingers to get his attention. Others complained impatiently whenever he cleaned around their desks. One manager blamed him for a coffee spill he hadn't caused. Another employee rolled her eyes when he asked politely to access a conference room for vacuuming. Most people never even looked directly at him. It wasn't cruelty that hurt the most. It was indifference. That he had spent years building a company around slogans about respect, empathy, and teamwork, yet walking through the hallways as a janitor revealed a painful truth. For many employees, kindness depended entirely on status. On Wednesday morning, while cleaning the training department, Caelan met the one person who changed everything. Her name was Soraya Vale. 24 years old and fresh out of university, Soraya had joined the company's trainee program only 2 weeks earlier. Unlike everyone else, she smiled when she saw him. Not the forced smile people used during networking events. A real smile, the kind that reached her eyes. She moved her chair aside to help him clean beneath her desk. She thanked him for his work. When she noticed the cart's broken wheel, she offered to help carry supplies. At first, Caelan assumed she was simply being polite, but her kindness continued day after day. Thursday morning, she noticed him eating lunch alone in a quiet corner near the service elevators. Instead of walking past, she sat nearby. She spoke about ordinary things, her hometown, her younger brother, her dreams of creating technology that genuinely helped people. She never asked invasive questions. She never treated him with pity, she simply treated him like a human being. For the first time in years, Caelan found himself looking forward to coming to work. As the week continued, he learned more about Soraya, her father had worked as a bus driver before becoming ill, her mother cleaned offices at night, Soraya had earned scholarships, worked part-time jobs, and graduated with honors despite enormous financial pressure. She understood what it meant to feel overlooked. That was why she noticed people others ignored. On Friday afternoon, Caelan witnessed something that disturbed him deeply. During a training presentation, Soraya offered an idea for improving customer accessibility. Before she could finish, her supervisor dismissed her suggestion and moved on. 10 minutes later, a senior trainee repeated the exact same idea. This time, everyone praised it. Soraya lowered her eyes and stayed silent. After the meeting, Caelan saw her sitting alone outside on a bench near the company courtyard. The bright afternoon sun illuminated the disappointment on her face. She wasn't angry, she was hurt. Years of hard work had brought her here, yet she already felt invisible. Caelan sat beside her. She smiled. Despite her sadness, she admitted that she sometimes wondered whether kindness mattered in competitive workplaces. People told her she was too soft, too trusting, too idealistic, but she couldn't bring herself to become cold. She said something that stayed with Caelan long after she returned inside. She said the world had enough people trying to feel important. What it needed were more people willing to make others feel important. That evening, as Caelan drove home, he realized he had spent years measuring success by numbers, revenue, growth, market share, but somewhere along the way, he had forgotten the human beings behind those numbers. Over the weekend, he reviewed everything he had experienced, every dismissive glance, every careless comment, every moment of unnecessary disrespect, and every act of kindness from Soraya. Monday morning arrived. Employees filled the main auditorium for the quarterly company meeting. Whispers spread through the crowd when executives took their seats. No one had seen the CEO all week. The giant screen displayed the company logo while hundreds of conversations echoed across the room. Then the side doors opened, silence swept through the auditorium. Caelan Mercer walked onto the stage, except this time, he wasn't wearing an expensive suit. He was wearing the same janitor uniform. Confused expression spread across the audience, faces turned pale. Some employees immediately recognized him, others slowly pieced the truth together. Caelan stood quietly for several moments before speaking. He described his week. He spoke about being ignored, about being interrupted, about feeling invisible inside his own company. No anger filled his voice, only disappointment. He reminded everyone that titles were temporary, positions changed, success came and went, but character revealed itself in ordinary moments. In how people treated receptionists, security guards, maintenance workers, interns, people who had nothing to offer in return. The auditorium remained silent. Some employees looked down at the floor, others wiped tears from their eyes. Then Caelan spoke about one trainee who had shown him kindness every single day. One trainee who never knew who he was. One trainee who expected nothing in return. When Soraya's name appeared on the screen behind him, her eyes widened with shock. The audience turned toward her, embarrassed. She covered her mouth with trembling hands. Caelan invited her onto the stage. As she walked forward, employees rose from their seats and applauded, not because she had impressed the CEO, but because she had reminded them what humanity looked like. Caelan announced immediate changes across the company. Leadership evaluations would include respect and empathy metrics. Anonymous reporting systems would be strengthened. Every employee, regardless of position, would participate in service days alongside maintenance and support teams, and Soraya would join a new employee culture advisory board reporting directly to the CEO. Tears filled her eyes, not because of the promotion, but because someone had finally seen her. Months later, Halcyon Dynamics became known not only for innovation but for creating one of the healthiest workplace cultures in the industry. Employee satisfaction increased dramatically, turnover declined, people started greeting one another by name. The biggest transformation, however, happened inside Caelan himself. He returned to the cafeteria regularly. He walked the hallways more often. He listened, and he remembered the lesson his father taught him years ago. The measure of a person's success isn't found in the number of people beneath them. It's found in how they treat the people society overlooks. Soraya never considered herself extraordinary. She never imagined that holding a door, offering a smile, or sharing lunch with a lonely janitor could change an entire company. But kindness often works that way. Quietly, patiently, powerfully. It transforms lives without asking for recognition. If this story touched your heart, please like this video, share it with someone who believes kindness still matters, subscribe to Kindness Hub, and tell us in the comments about a moment when a small act of kindness changed your life. Special request: comment the words, "Kindness sees everyone," if you believe every person deserves respect, no matter their job title, because the truth is simple, the world doesn't need more powerful people, it needs more compassionate ones, and sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can be seen by the person who needs it most.